Hello everybody, welcome to another live Pittsburgh Sportsline TV show in the BPTV studios. Hope you're enjoying the 93-degree day we had. It was a hot one. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. Chip Hayner can't make it. Smoking Jim Frazier's here. There we go, we could see him. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 31 in Bethel Park and the surrounding areas from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford. Appreciate it. Thanks for on our Facebook page. We just hit a brand new high, 6,893. Thanks for liking and watching our shows. We appreciate that. And we have some sports to talk to you. And of course, we got some stories because during this pandemic, there's not a whole lot of sports. But we do have some things to talk about. First up, got to do my promo. I don't know where Connor is. We got the Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Let's see if he can rearrange it. He's running in between these. Look at that. Connor did a great job. 412-831-1900. Hillcrest Shopping Center. Call up, get your pizza, your Italian food. It's delicious. They sponsor our show. We're still practicing our wearing a mask and social distancing so we can do our live TV show. But check them out. Next up, Joey Fabus, Childhood Cancer Foundation. That's Connor. This is live TV, so we got him running in between the console and the camera. Look at that picture. You can check it out. Donate money at the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Poor Joey died when he was 9 years old. In the last 6 years, his family's raised over $100,000 with events like the Joey Fabus 5K 1 mile run that they do at the high school every second week of September on a Sunday, so check that out. And they have other events throughout the year, which we're all limited on this, but we're coming out. We're in the green, and you're with Levine, so it works out perfectly. Go green. Next up, another nonprofit. I'll wait till Connor gets that tuned in. Look at this kid go. Look at that shot. Perfect, Connor. Thank you. Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. Right here, 2600 South Park Road, Bethel Park. That old trolley, red and white trolley's right there. Can't miss it. They have businesses there. They have a dance studio. They have an artist there. They do different events. They have a library with old-time uniforms, books, classroom books, all kinds of different things there. It's a great place. Check it out. They have my favorite loose leaf green tea place, which is Reginald's Coffee. By the way, they have great coffee, so check them out. Same place, 2600 South Park Road on the corner. Me and Smoking Jim are going to have to meet there for sure.
Yes, sir.
They got internet, so he'll be good. Next up, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. He put my face on Uncle Sam. Tell them Uncle Al, the talking machine, wants you for BPTV so you can be like Connor, running back and forth from cameras to doing audio, video. He's got it all. Look at this picture. Call 412-831-3304. We can always use volunteers. If you're interested in putting a TV show together, Dave Cable will take you under his wing and have you doing a professional job just like Connor is right here. Wait till you see what else he does tonight. He's on his own. Next up, one more thing, Connor. Come on, take a deep breath. Are you ready? Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. Any group or organization in Bethel Park that needs money for the great activities they're doing to promote our community, they have from $100 to $5,000 for you. Get an application online when we have meetings again. Come meet and explain why you need the money to help your group and people out. We've given over $970,000 over 25 years. I'm a trustee on the board. We listen to anybody and everybody that has an idea. Come on out there and check it out. Last but not least, we have a sponsor of What's on Your Mind. We'll just go back to regular camera there, Connor. And Skeet Service Station, right there in Findlayville, 6103 Route 88, a red, white, and blue station. Can't miss it. They do everything and anything. They work on gas, electric equipment that's outside, inside. They do gas weed whackers, trucks, cars, boats. You know, you name it, snowmobiles, anything that runs on gas, they'll fix it. 724-348-4715. Give Skeets a call. Tell them the Taka machine said, you can fix it. And give them a call. Now we're going to do What's on Our Mind, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Thanks, Al Levine, the Taka machine. And if you want the green,
and we're green.
You got to see Levine. And I tell you what, man, we got to give my man Connor a lot of credit, man. He's moving back and forth, man. He's handling this whole thing himself. That's incredible. He picked it up.
Well, you know what happened? He come in early.
Wow.
When you come in early, you can learn to do these things.
Wow, he's moving around. He's getting the job done like a true Gateway Gator, man.
No, he's not. Guess what? He's homeschooled in Bethel Park. That's one of your favorites. He ain't no Gator. You can't recruit him.
But I was thinking, Al Levine, the Taka machine, with everybody now that's being Black Lives Matter, made me think about back in the day when Franco Harris was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And it was Franco's Italian army. And there used to be a battle between the black community and the Italian.
He is half Italian.
Well, the blacks would say, he's black, and the Italians would be like, no, he's Italian. And then when he started running out of bounds, and nobody wanted him. The blacks were like, you can have him. Italians like, no, we don't want him. But hey, Al Levine, the Taka machine, do you think that Bethel Park will rename one of the roads Black Lives Matter Boulevard?
Not unless the mayor asks them to paint it on the street.
But here's what
if your mayor does that, why don't you ask about Peduto in Pittsburgh? Or how about the Monroeville mayor?
Well,
do you think he'll do it?
I was stuck in traffic today. I had to go through, I didn't know.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know if you know this or not, Al Levine, the Taka machine, but I'm a black man.
What do you mean?
As a matter of fact, I cut my grass today, so I'm a little darker than normal.
Yeah.
But I never get the word. I didn't know that they were marching in Monroeville today. So when I was
well, they heard all the money you got from gambling sitting on your table.
Yeah.
Last week we found out you don't have it.
None of my white neighbors, I live in an all-white neighborhood, they never told me that there was going to be a march. And they had traffic so backed up, I had to cut. If I wasn't from Monroeville and knew some back ways, I might have been late getting here instead of being on time.
Well, I'm honored that you could make it. And by the way, I don't really see color, so I appreciate you explaining you're a black man.
But you see green.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you a question, Al Levine, the Taka machine. Now, I was hoping that Chip would be here because he has a military background with both of his parents being buried in Arlington.
Yeah.
But Roger Goodell came out.
Yeah.
And you used to negotiate millions and millions of multi-million-dollar contracts.
Yes, I did.
I was surprised to hear Roger Goodell come out and say that they were wrong because of the peaceful protests. And then Drew Brees had came out and said that anybody that kneels is disrespectful to the flag and to the military.
Yeah.
So do you think Roger's protecting the brand?
Hold it 1 second. Did you say that Brees also apologized for his statements?
Yeah.
You didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I know, but you're like the regular media. You only want to put out your opinion.
But the reason I said that, it's not my opinion, but
No, that is your opinion when you choose not to say what he said.
But the reason I asked was to get your opinion on, and like I said, the first question was for you for the money. Do you think Roger Goodell came out because to protect the brand and protect the financial interests? And I was going to ask
Yes.
Chip if he thought
Yes,
that.
I think he did.
Okay, and do you think the kneeling is disrespectful to the flag? And that was more for Chip because he comes from a military background.
Well, a lot of people get upset about it, and I understand that because people died for us. You know, we just had D-Day where 100,000 or more people died on a beach in one day. So why were they doing that? Because of our way of life, so you can be like you are, and I can be like I am.
Good point.
So they do that. So some people take offense by it. And actually, Colin Kaepernick got advice by a guy who was in the military and said, you should kneel. That's what happened. A guy told him that he should kneel.
Oh, I never know. I didn't know
Well,
that.
I dig a little deeper than you. And since it come up, you know, people are acting like we haven't had problems for all these years. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. I'm a history guy.
Okay.
He wrote it. There were very few corrections in that document that he wrote. You know what one of the corrections they scratched out of what he wrote?
No.
He was a slave owner, right?
Okay.
He put in that we should abolish slavery.
I didn't know that.
He put it in there. They scratched it out.
I never knew that.
So he was going to start that with our Declaration of Independence. And times are different with how people think. And to sell people like your heritage and black people when they come in here, I think it's so egregious, and I can't understand the racism and the prejudice. But have I seen it here in Pittsburgh? Yes. Have I seen it recently? Yes. Is it good? No. And that's why I treat everybody the same. And you asked me if I knew if you were black or not. I don't even care what color you are. I'd treat you how you treat me. Some days better than other, but you know, that's my personal opinion. But no, I'm for all this, and I think some places need to change. But a lot of people don't realize Pittsburgh was one of the cities 5 years ago that Obama asked them to change the police department and started get them dealing with the community much better. 5 years ago, he started doing that in Pittsburgh and 5 other cities. And you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
So I pay attention to the facts because most of this other stuff is just opinion. And I respect everybody's opinion even when I disagree with you and others. Like T.J. Watt still hasn't proved he's the greatest Steeler linebacker ever.
Oh, come on now.
I had to bring that up.
Come
What
on
color's
now.
he? What color's he?
What more he got to do? What more he got to do to
Play
prove
10
it?
more years?
Okay.
That's how simple that is.
Well, that's what's on my mind. And
Well, what's
asking
your
me-
thoughts on it?
On what?
Anything you ask me. You don't get a free card on that.
Oh, I just thought that.
What do you think when they kneel?
Well, a peaceful.
Honestly.
A peaceful protest.
No, I'm saying when the NFL kneeled, what did you think about the players protesting like that?
Anything that happens before the official whistle
Yeah.
never bothered me.
No, that's what I'm trying to bring out of
Because,
you. Yeah.
you know, one of my favorite players of all time was Dwayne Thomas.
Yeah,
And he would sit on the bench.
right.
And
he didn't talk much
He
either.
didn't talk to nobody. He sat on the bench. All I care about is how somebody does on the field.
Yeah.
Because most of them are phony off the field.
Yeah,
Like Big Ben is one of the biggest phonies. We can't ask Arnold Palmer, but Arnold Palmer kicked Big Ben off his golf course because he's such a phony. He wouldn't even give Arnold Palmer's grandson an autograph.
Wow.
So he booted him up. But most of these
I didn't know that.
Yeah, most of these guys, like Vince Williams,
yeah,
when I go in the Steeler locker room for championship chase to interview,
Yeah.
I will never interview Vince Williams. I respect his game. He's a physical player.
yeah.
But, you know, Vince Williams, I have no respect for him.
Why?
You know what I mean? Because he's a jerk,
Oh,
a big jerk, and
Okay.
I'll walk around. I'll go interview a walk-on rookie practice squad person before I interview Vince Williams. I would never interview him.
Yeah.
You'll never see him.
well,
on championship chase.
you hold grudges. Look at poor Curtis Martin.
Yeah, he'll never get in the City League Hall of
I know
Fame.
you said it last week, and you
Yeah.
say it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm shocked
Not
by
as
that.
long as I'm on the committee.
Well, what did you think about Drew Brees making his comment
Well-
before he apologized?
I thought the thing is, I'm friends with some comedians,
Okay.
You know, every black person's a comedian, really.
I didn't know. I didn't know
But
that.
I'm friends
I
with,
thought just
I'm
Dave
friends with
Chappelle
some
and
professional comedian, and they always
Richard Pryor, I thought he was.
yeah, and they always tell me that, and I don't go to a lot of comedy clubs because I don't like all
You're
the
too
profanity.
cheap. You're too cheap.
Well, that's one reason.
Okay.
You know, some of my favorite comedians aren't, you know, like Steinfeld, I like him, that don't cuss.
Did you like Red Fox?
No. I mean, his albums were horrible. But
Well,
I liked his
he
show.
liked to swear.
Yeah, I liked his show, but I could never go see him or.
But look how he mistreated his son all those years
I didn't know he had a son.
on the show.
Oh yeah, the big dummy. Yeah, on the show, the big dummy. Yeah. but
Because now you're watching that stuff.
but what the comedians always tell me
Yeah.
is the difference between, because most of them will tell you they ain't even the funniest in their family, but the difference between their Uncle Buck and them is timing. Everything's timing. And I thought that what Drew Brees said, he's entitled to his opinion, and a lot of people stand behind that opinion,
Yeah.
but the timing was bad. You know what I mean?
Sure.
When he said it, and I think that's the main reason why he apologized, because he has, a lot of people believe the way that Drew Brees believed.
Sure.
But being that Drew Brees is the face of the NFL and one of the leaders, he's going to be on Monday Night Football soon
He does
as
a lot
retire.
of great things in
Yeah.
New Orleans. Look at he helps black people,
Yeah.
white people,
Yeah,
anybody.
And, you know, of course, I would not have apologized. Now, I don't apologize for anything.
I know.
That
You say
I-
some outrageous
Yeah,
things.
I don't apologize.
Like you didn't
I wouldn't
apologize.
say it if I
You didn't apologize for last year saying Cleveland Browns would go to the playoffs and they could win the Super
I
Bowl.
was wrong.
And Baker Mayfield had a terrible year.
But I ain't going to be wrong about Tampa Bay going this year.
I don't know why.
Yes.
I didn't know you were a Brady fan.
I'm a Bruce Arians fan. He does great things with average quarterbacks.
We'll see if he can win the whole thing, though.
Yes.
As
Well-
a head coach,
Well,
I'm
New
doubtful.
Orleans is already in trouble. They're divided because of what the Drew Brees said. That was their
No,
only
they all
competition.
they came together now.
That was their only
Oh,
competition.
he apologized. Even his wife apologized and was crying.
She's good looking.
She was crying about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She felt bad because she, like myself, I like peaceful protest. I still don't understand why you have to break buildings and steal stuff. And then in New York, I just saw a guy gave a video because people are sending messenger photos. But he shows something, he's in Manhattan at 5 in the morning. Okay. Nobody's out because he's safe. And he drives down the street with his camera, like you, going from left to right. Guess what? Every store, Gucci, Rolex, they're all boarded up.
Wow.
For a mile or more, they're all boarded up. How did they clean it up in a day and board it up in a day?
Wow.
Thousands of places.
Wow.
I never saw all the rich stores, designers, they got robbed and they got busted up and they're all boarded up. Just like in Pittsburgh. Why did they have to break the windows at one of my old-time favorite fish places, the Oyster House?
No, in the Market Square?
They broke all the windows there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a good fish sandwich.
I
there.
know. I've been eating there since I was a teenager.
Wow. Do they still got George Aiken down there?
No, that was a great place for chicken.
Yeah, I used to love that.
I used to get it all the time.
Rotisserie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I learned about it. I even
I
met
always
the
thought it
owner.
was duck. Was that chicken or duck?
You don't know duck. Duck can be dry. They got to cook it right. We'll have to go to Chinese and get some duck. And then I'll watch you choke on it. No, but I even met the owner of George Aiken's years ago in the 70s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a few of them, a few George Aikens.
Wow. Was
But
he
it-
related to Curtis Aiken?
No.
No. Different Aikens.
No, but that was right outside of Market Square. It was a
Wow.
great place.
Wow. I never made it past.
When we worked in downtown Pittsburgh during the day on an overtime shift, we'd go, who's going to George Aiken's?
Really?
We'd have 8 to 10 guys go.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can
Wow.
reminisce with you on that.
Oh, heck yeah. I've probably seen you in there.
I don't know. You probably weren't there 11 in the morning.
No.
I don't want you to lie to me.
Maybe 3, 4 in the afternoon, maybe.
Okay, we were inside putting out the last edition of the paper, the stock edition, at 4 o'clock. Put out about $10,000 10,000 papers.
Wow.
The bookies would get the stock numbers that were final, and they pulled that number out, and that's what they pulled out, and people won on.
Really?
Yeah, off the stock exchange.
Wow. I
New
didn't
York
know
Stock
that.
Exchange.
Wow.
Fans and friends, I'm teaching Smoking Jim a lot of history today. And thanks for your What's on Your Mind.
You're welcome, brother.
All right, I'll do what's on my mind. There hasn't been much sports. So I'm watching TV the other night, and I see 30 to 30 that's on, all the time, and I missed that Jordan show, missed that, but I see this Be Water, and I'm like, that sounds familiar, and it's Bruce Lee.
Wow.
So I watched a great show talking about he was a childhood actor in Hong Kong.
Really?
Yeah, he was a childhood actor. His dad was a movie star. His mother was involved in
I
it.
never knew that.
And he was born in America, and they went back to Hong Kong, and he was in all these shows and movies as a young kid.
I didn't know.
And he was very popular. He was a great young actor, but he was hanging out with gangs in Hong Kong. So they told the parents, said, your son's a good kid, but he's hanging out with the wrong people. So his dad was tough like your dad. He gives him $100, goes, you're a U.S. citizen, you're going back to San Francisco. And good luck, we got some relatives there. He sent him there. How about that? He said, good luck, Chuck. Have a good day.
Wow.
And he made himself into a superstar, learned martial arts in Hong Kong and taught people in America.
Wow.
Even had Abdul Jabbar.
Really?
He had Chuck Norris. He taught them. He had a school. He did all kinds of great things.
How about Lou Alcindor? He teach him?
Yeah,
Okay.
after he became Jabbar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just so you know the history. Because I know a few things. Some of it you ignore because, that's your opinion. But no, that was a great diversion and a great show.
Wow, I would love to have seen that.
Well, on that 92-inch screen, you have to check it out someday. They'll repeat it. Be water. And that was his phrase, yeah. Water is real soft, but it can break anything down. Look at what rain does. Look at what rivers do. Look at the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. Do you know about the Grand Canyon?
No.
That Colorado River carved out all those high mountains and areas there.
really?
Yeah.
And I went to the Grand Canyon before.
You're kidding. Did you know it?
No, yeah, I peeked up. I was there about 10 seconds. One peek was enough.
Really?
Yeah, I got a peek.
That's good.
I got a peek.
But the Colorado River runs below it. That cut through that over the centuries.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now you know. That's the 5th lesson that I taught him today. I'm done. We're going to come back with some fiction and fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Levine, the talking machine. Thanks, my man Connor, doing an excellent job.
He's running the whole show.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, you don't get around much.
But it's a sad fiction and fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac. I just learned a couple of days ago
What happened?
that great running back from Gateway named Boomer Smith
I never heard of him.
died of a heart attack.
How old?
And probably about 52, young guy.
Wow.
All the money in the world, man.
What happened?
Probably the 2 best running backs in Gateway history was John Gay
Yeah.
and his older brother Dan Smith. And Dan and Boomer was a year apart.
Wow.
And Dan was a superstar.
Yeah.
Had scholarships.
I
all
heard
over,
of him, yeah.
Yeah, had scholarships all over the country. Ended up going to Yale. And a smart guy.
Wow, an Ivy League school.
But their family
From
was
Gateway.
their family was so rich when they turned 16, they both got brand new Corvettes.
Wow.
So they always
the
had
girls liked him.
Always had a lot of money, I guess. But Boomer played in the Dream backfield on the 1986 state championship Gateway team.
Yeah.
Ended up knocking off the #1 team in the nation, North Hills. Ended up being #3 in the nation, USA Today. And Coach Annamarino used to always say, the legendary coach, Coach Pete Annamarino.
Yeah.
The
May he
first-
rest in peace.
may rest in peace, the first coach inducted into the WPIL Hall of Fame, which means he's the best coach of all time. But he used to always say that the best backfield is an Italian quarterback and a black tailback, running back. Well, that 86 team had Terry Smith, the Penn State coach, at quarterback, and El Lardo was a great running back on that team.
Wow.
But they ran the single wing.
Yeah.
And so you had 3 backs in the backfield. You had El Lardo, who went to Pitt.
Right.
You had Boomer Smith, the late Boomer Smith, that went to CMU.
Yeah.
And then you had...
He must have been smart, too.
Yeah, he was just like his brother.
Wow.
And then you had Dale Banks.
Wow.
Who was probably a beast of a running back.
Yeah.
I never seen him get tackled until the championship game, and he averaged 10 yards a carry for the season.
Wow.
And he ended up going to Pitt. And these guys were so good that they never played the second half of any game all season long.
What'd they average?
And they were probably, they'd score 40 points at halftime.
Wow.
And the coach wouldn't play them in the second half. It was so ironic. Then they had the number 1 player in the country the next year was Curtis Brave, was a junior on that team. So the team was loaded.
And he passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, he passed away. And they played against, in the semifinals, they played against the wrestler from Mount Lebanon.
Angle.
And
Kurt Angle.
And Kurt Angle really impressed me. He was really impressive.
You should have seen his brothers play at Keystone Oaks.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me. They were tough
Mark
as well.
Angle, his older brother, graduated with me.
Wow.
One of the toughest guys I ever met in my life.
Wow.
One of the toughest guys ever born in Dormont. I saw some fights that are unbelievable to this day. And he was a Boilermaker for years. I heard he just retired.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, great job.
Yeah.
But I remember...
And he taught his brother to be a great athlete, and some of the mannerisms of Kurt are copies of Mark Angle and how he he was a tough guy. One of the toughest, great athlete.
Yeah.
Strong as... He was so hard. You hit that wall.
Yeah.
That's how he was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And you'd have liked him because I won't say he was a dirty player, but we played Mount Lebanon one year. I'm the center. You know how center goes huddle up?
Yeah.
Mount Lebanon kid, like 6'4", 250, bumps into me, goes, "Excuse me." I never had anybody say excuse me on a football field.
Okay.
We're at Mount Lebanon. I go, oh. On that play, Mark Angle got the ball. He gets tackled. There's a polyp. It was so deep, like 10 people were all together. And I hear a kid screaming, "He's biting me. He's biting me." The refs are diving in there trying to get it. And they didn't find out who bit him. But Mark told us he bit him because the guy stuck his face or his leg right in his face when he was on the ground.
Wow.
And he bit him. He didn't mess around.
That's awesome, man.
But how about that? "Excuse me," and then, "I'm getting bit." That's one of the stories I remember. And then in honor of Bethel Park, they had a great kicker who went to the pros. Skladany was his name. He was a great field goal kicker. And this was 1973, my senior year. I graduated 74. And Bethel Park had a monstrous team. And we were just a good starting team, not many backups, small school. But we qualified enough to be in the conference with Mount Lebanon, Upper St. Clair, Cannon McMillan,
That's big time
Uniontown, all these teams. So we're playing them, and it's in the rain. It's a rainy game, and we're like tied going into the fourth quarter in a rainy game. They pull Skladany out, and he kicks a last-second field goal. Wins the game by 3 points.
Wow.
They were shocked. Mark Angle was beating up people, knocking them around. After the game, he had his helmet off, and he said some swear words, and "I'll take on all of these outside their locker room." Because we walked up from the field. He's near their locker room, threatened the whole team. Coaches had to grab him. Police are there. But the whole team, he said, "I'll take you all on. Come on." And we got in the bus and left.
Oh, man, that's great stuff.
Those were some days. But we had our moments there. We weren't a gateway, but we gave them a tough game. We were like the Steelers. They knew they were in a game.
That's all.
Because we could hit and play.
That's it, man. But just to finish up with Boomer,
your sad
real quick.
thing, yeah.
But this team was just absolutely loaded. I mean, the John Hines History Center has them rated as the best team in WPIL history.
Really?
I think they're a little bit overrated, but
you always do.
Yeah, I thought
because you go to the negative side.
Well,
you can't just embrace that. That's a great compliment.
Yeah, I mean they're a little overrated.
Who isn't?
The North Hills team the next year won the national championship, and Gateway only beat them 7-6 in the WPIL championship game. But some of their best players were only juniors for North Hills. And then the best team I seen that year, maybe the best team I ever seen, was the '86 Perry High School team.
Wow! With
Ricky Cannon, Darrell Porter at wide receiver, and they had this running back named Ragland.
No, I heard Darrell was quite the athlete.
Yeah, he knew how to skip around. He played the first 2 years for Brashear with Major Harris.
Yeah.
And they played, even in basketball, they played in the state championship against Billy Owens from Carlisle.
Yeah,
they got beat by then.
Those were some teams.
And then when Major Harris graduated, he skipped over to Perry
How
High
do you
School
do
for
that?
his last 2 years. So, they allow anything in the city. But Boomer, now this Gateway team is outstanding, right?
Yeah.
Now, Terry Smith never really got a chance to do anything. He had one Division I scholarship offer, but it was in basketball to Missouri. He was a great basketball player.
Get out, I didn't know that.
Nothing in football. He didn't do anything. All he did was hand the ball off. I mean, his
Could he
stats,
throw, though?
He could throw the ball 80 yards.
Really?
I seen him in junior high school.
Yeah.
He was this tall. He's under the center. You know how, like, most quarterbacks duck down?
Yeah.
He's standing up. Well, Dell Banks was the tailback, the one that averaged 10 yards a carry that went to Pitt. And all he would do in junior high was hand to Dell Banks.
Right.
Well, one time he threw the ball.
Yeah.
In junior, he threw it like 60 yards. I was like, holy heck, he got a gun. Because I heard about how great he was in midget football, but I never seen him. But, his brother was great, Harvey.
Yeah.
So Terry,
legendary.
Terry's senior year, he's the quarterback, and they took him off of defense because he was so valuable as a quarterback, handing the ball off.
Right. Well, you need somebody who can do that.
And he was an unselfish guy.
Yeah.
Because he'd run the option
and give the ball up,
and he would pitch it, where he could run. So Terry really. And they're sitting down at halftime.
Yeah.
So they got this great team. You got Curtis Bray. You got, you got Banks. You got Lardo. So Boomer, after about 3 games, Boomer Smith hadn't scored yet. So Coach Anna Marino's getting on Boomer because I went to all the practices. And Coach Anna Marino's getting on Boomer. He was like, when you going to score a touchdown? When you going to score a touchdown? Boomer's getting pissed,
Yeah.
So the next game, Boomer must have scored like 4 touchdowns.
Really?
I mean, he went off, man. And he comes to the sideline. He's nose to nose with Coach Anna Marino. They're cussing each other
Really?
out. Yeah. So that's my Boomer story. But what happened with Terry, and I always thought that Penn State gave him a full scholarship because they wanted Curtis Bray, who was the #1 player in the country.
Right.
But he was only a junior.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Terry's getting no offers. Penn State never gave anybody from Gateway a scholarship, ever. They're going to take him. But what really did it in the WPIL championship game, the difference was Terry Smith. He ran the ball. North Hills could not stop him.
Yeah.
They stopped everybody else. I've never seen Dell Banks get tackled before that game.
Yeah.
And it was running into a brick wall. El Lardo running into the brick wall.
Really?
Boomer, the late Boomer Smith running into the brick wall. And then Terry, number 10. I mean, he was just the difference in the game. They won 7-6.
Wow.
Knocked off the #1 team in the country. Emmitt Smith's team for most of the year was #1 till they got beat.
Really?
Yeah, and So that's the story. Boomer, the late Boomer Smith, always had to play in the shadow of his brother.
Yeah.
Who him and his brother and John Gay was the two best running backs in Gateway history. Curtis Bray, bigger than life. ESPN always showcased him.
Yeah.
And here goes Terry Smith. Gets a scholarship to Penn State out of nowhere. And it took him a long time to even get playing time.
Really?
At Penn State. But once he got in there,
they couldn't get rid of him.
They knew they made a great decision. They had a great player.
Yeah.
End up breaking the record his senior year, most touchdown catches in a single season. Should have made.
Oh, really? He had that record?
Yeah, he had the 10 touchdown catches in one season, which was a Penn State record. That's been broken since
Yeah,
then.
I know.
But catch everything, run, very elusive.
Wow.
But the best player ever seen on the basketball court for Gateway was Terry. He was a thief.
Was he?
I've never seen a guy.
Quick hands.
Well, I don't know how quick the hands were. I'm sure they were quick. But he was a thief. He even did it. He played in the round ball game too and did the same thing. Somebody could be dribbling this way.
Yeah.
He'll let him go this way. They think they're past him. He would reach around them and knock the ball loose. I've never seen that. Then somebody get the ball.
What hand and eye coordination?
I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's like they're going this way. He goes behind them, and he did
Slaps it.
and then did it in a round ball game several times too. I'm like, he's a thief.
Wow.
I mean, it's you had to see it, but
Right.
his jump shot, he could take it to the hoop. He was
that round ball at the Civic
guard.
Arena?
Yeah, Civic Arena.
I remember
round ball.
going there watching round ball games.
Yeah, I used to go every year.
Yeah,
My
I was
dad-
intermittently.
That's
I
the
went
only
with my
basketball
dad.
allowed my dad to drag me to.
Really?
Yeah, I loved that round
Yeah,
ball.
my dad loved that, and he'd hang around to always basketball officials and coaches. He was a hit. He loved it. Then guys at work go, "You want to go to the round ball? You ever been there?" I go, "My dad used to take me." So we had a good time doing that. Those were good days.
But Terry should have made the He got drafted in the 11th round by the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
The same year they drafted Desmond Howard in the first round. And he should have made it. He should have been a Smurf. Remember they had the Smurf? He should have been one of the Smurfs.
Sure, he could have been.
Yeah, they cut him. I don't know why. But he never.
Well, they only got so many people they can keep on a team. So.
Then the Smiths are an unlucky family.
Are they?
He goes to the CFL. Terry played a couple years in the CFL.
Yeah.
The only team that doesn't throw the ball. It was a running team, so they had bad luck, man. He goes to a team and they're ground chuck, man. But hey, it worked out for him in coaching, and
he's doing well now.
Yeah, he turned Penn State around.
Yeah,
you know,
all because of him.
All because of him, assistant head coach. And that's one assistant head coach that's doing good. John Mitchell, I don't know what he does as assistant head coach with steal money.
You have to look into that.
Yeah. But that's the fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Wow.
Hey, rest in peace, Boomer.
We had some
Smith.
extra time, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Smoking Jim. Welcome back, everybody. On location, we don't have too much happening. I got a couple people feeling us out. John Serapere, he contacted us with that We 21, a nonprofit that honors Roberto Clemente and brings teams and communities together. He wants us to do a jumbo gumbo show with the Afro-American Musical Institute in Homewood. They're going to partner up with us. Me and you are going to be there to film and interview people.
Wow, great.
And he's setting that up for maybe in August. He's going to do a couple on-location things, and then he's going to do some things with Zoom. And he got all these ideas, so I told him, you know what I charge, and we'll do it. And he agreed, and he's getting a budget together. And he got me in the loop. I'm supposed to meet with him this week, but he didn't get back to me on that.
Wow.
So coming attraction with On Location with We 21. So check them out. It's WE, then number 21. It's a nonprofit, and you can find it. Just search, Google it. That's all. And they do great stuff with baseball and communities. They brought our man Bill Franciscus, who, sad to say, he got a guy suffered road rage, attacked him, and shot him in the leg. And he's crippled, but he came over my house because he's a contractor, and my gutter with all that wind and rain, it blew my gutter away. He's going to come out and fix it. A couple clips came off. He knows what he's doing.
Wow.
So he feels good enough, and he limps a little bit because his one leg is shorter now than it was. So it ended his baseball career, and that hurts him. And, it's just a bad state of affairs what happened. And he's on board with We 21 as their baseball guy. And who better than him?
Yeah.
He's known all over the country. He's known in Cuba. He's got different jobs and deals coming up for him too. So stay tuned with what he's doing because he's getting recovered and doing better. So he said to say hi to you and all our fans. So hello to that. And then last night I get a call about 8:30 at night. I'm watching some TV and stuff, and Master Rob Zhang, who's been on the show, he did a feat where he broke a board over my head while I was eating a hoagie at Hollywood Lanes. Devin Shea on camera said, "Don't do it." Jeffrey Park said, "Don't do it in my place." Master Zhang goes, "Al, what are you going to do?" I said, "I'll do it. Let's go." I said, "Here's where we do it." Devin, get on the camera. And you remember, you were shocked.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You didn't even flinch." He goes, "You were the best."
Yeah.
I go, "I'm a man of my word." I said, "I trusted you." He goes, "I never kicked over anybody's head and busted a board before."
Really?
He goes, "I've broken boards up in the air like that, but not over anybody's head."
Wow.
So I just threw it up to you, and you took it hook, line, and sinker.
Wow.
I go, "I'm a man of action. I don't exaggerate, and I tell true stories." So we started talking. He said to say hi to you.
All right.
Said, "How's my man Smoking Jim?" He goes, "I'm interested in you guys doing a show out in Wexford." I go, "Well, we travel." I go, "Part of my promo is you can watch us on Verizon 32 everywhere in Bethel Park, and then McCollin, and all the way from Cranberry and Wexford. So people in Wexford have watched our show." So he's in Wexford. He's talking about getting great Taekwondo performers, kickboxers. The one kid he had with him, Zach, is like his right-hand man. And he was first on our show like March 7th, 2016. So for 4 years I've known him, and he just loves us and what we do and the energy and the positivity we have. He goes, "In this day and age, I'd like to present my Pittsburgh gym and my Wexford gym, on your show."
Great.
So I said, "Let's get together a couple weeks. I'm going to go see his place. And then maybe in the next couple months, depending on this Go Green, where we can go. And we may not have fans there, but his students and these experts from across the world, he's going to bring champions on." And when he was on the show the last time, he had won 8 trophies in a year.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, now they won't let him fight because he got another black belt. He's a 12th degree black belt.
Wow.
So they won't let him fight. They think he should retire, and he's only 40 years old.
Wow.
And he still wants to fight. He goes, "I'll fight. I don't care if I lose. I'll take on anybody."
Wow.
That's what kind of guy he is. So we had a great conversation, and we're going to do a show with him coming up. So stay tuned for that. We do have some irons in the fire. I got to get back to Olive Oil's Pizzeria in Brookline to see if they could let us in and help promote their business and do a show there again. So we got some iron in the fire, and we're going green. And when you got Levine, Smoking Jim's told you for 9 years now. I hear it when I go to bed every night. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk some sports because we only got about 15 minutes to go. We'll come back, and Connor will just come back and talk some sports.
We're in the Stanley Cup final for the second year in a row, and here's Yager with the puck. Yager, nice move around Brett Sutter to the backhand. Let's it go, he scores!
And she said, "Thanks." Oh, we're back, folks. With this bad angle, I don't know we're on camera. Look at that hair. Azazu's open. I got to see when Marianne's back because she had shoulder surgery for a rotator cuff.
I didn't know that. Nobody
Yeah,
told
she's
me.
recuperating. Well, you didn't ask. Look at this hair. I need a cut badly. Well, we got sports on here. I know you don't like the other sports.
Right.
So we're going to bring him up because
Okay.
I don't care about the NFL. Now that Goodell changed his mind and he's not going to be involved in racism and in, notifying people about injustice, it's been going on forever. And you blacklisted a black man named Colin Kaepernick. So we're not talking NFL. We'll start with baseball since they probably aren't going to have a season.
Yay!
Well, the players made a deal. They wanted 114. The owners come back with 76, and then a percentage of that would get prorated. And they're talking, at least they're talking, not putting it out in the media that much. So that gives me hope that they can work something out. But it looks like with the way the players are getting diminished salaries, that they'll only play 50 games. And then I heard tonight, it might be on the radio, they were talking it could be a 48-game season. And they're talking about cutting their pay during the playoffs and things like that. So there's a lot of problems and issues with it, let alone where they're going to play the games.
Yeah.
And they've talked about Arizona, but, baseball doesn't look like it's going to happen this year.
Right.
It doesn't. So I'm very disappointed. I love baseball. I always loved it when I first started playing it at 9 years old. Just been a fan of it my whole life. Then we go to the NBA, July 31st. Another sport you don't like, but you like the players because we know how you are. They're coming back, and they're going to finish their season, and they're going to do it down in Orlando like we were talking about. ESPN, they have a great sports complex down there, which I checked it out online. It looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you got to check it out.
Wow.
Yeah, they put millions and millions of dollars there, and they can house all the teams. There's hotels with over 400 rooms, so families and stuff could be down there. Who knows how they're going to run all this? But they said they're going to have enough testing to test everybody. But my only question is, say a guy like you gets COVID, and you talk to everybody, how are they not going to quarantine a whole team?
Good point.
Because that's 2 weeks.
Good point.
So if somebody shows up positive, there's going to be teams thrown out of the tournament.
Yeah.
But those are unanswered questions, and they may not have fans there because how are you going to do it while we still have limits? And a lot of people aren't wearing the mask, and they figure you can do whatever you want. My only problem is you got 112,000 people that died. So I believe in the mask.
Is it that much now?
Yeah. So it's no joke, and I understand whatever you believe on it, but I got 2 strikes against me with my kidney transplant and the anti-remission drugs, and believe it or not, I am over 60. I'll tell you that. I'll be 64 at the end of the month. So I got to play it safe. That's why we're still practicing social distancing, and we want you to be healthy. We want you to be safe, and just have common sense out there. If you're worried about something, then maybe avoid it. Don't do it. You don't just have to do anything because the sun's shining out there. Matter of fact, it was too hot for most of you today. But those are things you got to watch. And then we got the NHL. They're going to probably report in the next 10 days to 2 weeks when their playoffs are going to start, because you got 24 teams in the playoffs. And they're doing a round-robin tournament where it means the top 4 teams will play, and they'll split it all up so they all have important games. The first games they play will be a best-of-5 series. After that, the playoffs will be all best-of-7. So it'll be very competitive.
For
Hockey.
I heard they're not coming back till like September. Is that right?
No, they just notified yesterday that within 10 days to 2 weeks, they'll notify when they're starting.
Oh, really?
So they could start in July, too.
Okay. So
They got to pick cities. We're one of the cities that could be a hub city.
Yeah.
They named like 8 or 9, 10 places.
Because I heard somewhere that it may not be September.
Well, they've been talking stuff like that anyhow. You don't know how to negotiate, so people blow
Yeah.
smoke,
Yeah.
and that's
true.
just to blow smoke. Unlike you, rarely do you blow smoke or pump something up. Oh, sorry, did I let that slip out?
Because I feel bad that all these professional athletes got to give up their summers.
What do you mean?
I mean,
Personally?
basketball would be over by now.
Yeah.
So now they got to start playing in July. They're giving up their summer. Hockey, baseball.
Well, baseball plays every summer.
Yeah, they play every summer, but they're not going to play, which is good.
Well, they're happy. They got time now with their
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
Mike Trout's having a baby, so he can see it,
Oh, really?
see it being born.
Oh,
And he got enough money. Unlike you, his money's stacked up.
wow.
He got cash.
Wow. Oh, yeah, he signed that big-time contract.
And he made money before.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been around for a while, buddy.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
One of the best baseball players of his era.
Wow.
Just hasn't been on a winning team.
Yeah, I heard of him last year when he signed that contract.
Well, you just learned about baseball 9 years ago. So
Even though I played it.
I have not found anybody that knows you playing baseball.
Only had one thing, the fastball.
Wow. I did too, but I had a good one. I averaged two strikeouts an inning.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, in Little League, 7-1. I had a heck of a fastball. It sounded like that
Wow.
when it hit the mitt.
I either struck you out or hit you with the ball.
That's
I
good.
didn't have the best of control.
I had some of the
With
greatest control to go
Yeah.
off on a story. My dad had one of those skids. They're split and then split in half. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 corners.
Yeah.
He'd tell me upper left, lower right, lower left.
You could hit it?
I'd hit it without
Wow.
aiming
Wow.
because they wouldn't let me aim. I had to follow through. And my cousin was 5'5". He threw a fastball that could strike anybody out. He had
Really?
a fastball because he put his whole body. When you step, your legs got to be strong, so you use your legs. You have big legs now, but when you were Urkel, you didn't have those big legs. So I understand why you had trouble. But I had great control. Guys would look at the catcher's mitt and try to hit the ball
Wow.
because they knew I'd hit the mitt.
Wow.
So I started messing them up, throwing inside at them.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
because I rarely hit a player. They felt safe, but that ball scared them. Someone would stand way back off the plate.
Wow.
So I just hit that outside corner all
Even
day
the,
long.
even the umpire would dive out the way some of my pitches.
Really? That's some other fiction and fact. We added to that. We got some more. But no, I don't feel bad about the players. They made their money. I just feel that everybody should try to work out a deal. I've negotiated. All CBAs are compromises. Some get a little, some get a lot. It's what you work out. I go back to the NFL now. I never heard in all my days of negotiating contracts that you accept a first offer.
Wow.
You're talking about college-educated people, pro people that make millions of dollars, negotiating like they have a 2-cent brain. You make a first offer, you tell me out there, who in their right mind makes the first offer they want as the best offer? That's usually your worst offer because you'll take things off the table to negotiate.
Right.
So they put the first offer out, which is for all the general players, and they took it.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. You talk about guidance. What leadership did they have?
It was signed so fast, I didn't even realize that it was signed till you told me. I'm
Well,
like,
you
whoa.
had the top players, which makes sense. They're millionaires. The union's made for them to protect them, and they couldn't even do it. They all came out against it.
Wow.
And it's all the rank and file and the rookies and the younger guys. They go, wow, we can smoke dope and get away with it.
Where do I sign?
They said, I'll sign. They didn't care what else was in there. And that's what happened. So
Are you sad?
sad about what?
The retirement.
What do you mean?
Conor McGregor retired.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it's his third retirement.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
No, I'm not sad
Yeah.
because he's been a thug. Oh, we got 1 minute. Our Connor just gave us the 1 minute. No, I'm not sad because you cost me money that day when I was right. Duke's Rib House and Grill. Come on, watch the fights with
He
me.
won every round until that.
No
last-
way. He won 1 round if he was lucky. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I hope we were informative, and I know we're entertaining. Other people have told us that. How can you not like? You can't see the greatest smile in the business, but he has it. I'm just happy to do a show with Smoking Jim Frazier, and this is Al Levine thanking you very much. And please stay safe and healthy during these trying times, and stay Joey strong.